So today we're reviewing
28 years later.
There's no discharge in the war.
28 Years Later is a new zombie movie. I know there are a lot of movies before this. This is a collection of movies, zombie movies. I've only seen this movie out of this whole universe, but I saw this movie about a week ago, and we just watched it again today, where you watched for the first time.
Yeah.
But Jake, what were your initial thoughts of 28 Years Later?
My initial thoughts on this movie was, I would say it was a decent movie. I walked out of the theater pretty much entertained. I thought the flow was really, really good, and there's a lot of very good aspects to this. Once again, this might be my complaints are probably more nitpicking than the actual real complaints of movies. But overall, though, this movie, the trailers were done really, really well. It had me interested to want to go see this movie, and I would say that a lot of what I saw in the trailer you do get at times, and when this movie's doing the things that I wanted it to do, it was very, very good, and that's kind of where I would leave off my kind of preview of my thoughts overall. So I had a good time with it. I would say I didn't love it, but I also did not hate it, so I had a decent time with this movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. The trailers for this movie really did pull me in. I was so intrigued by the trailers, and I knew it was a zombie movie, but I was like, man, this just seems different. And I really do think it was. The zombies are really creepy in this movie. The atmosphere is great. I mean, this movie, I think this is a good movie. I have some big issues with it in the direction they go, like basically towards the halfway point of this movie and on. I have some big issues. Overall, I think this was a good zombie movie. It's towards the top for me personally. There's still some above it, but some of the creepiest zombies, the way they're portrayed, and a lot of good stuff. But there are a lot of weird decisions made in this movie. But why don't we start out with our positives?
Positives for me are just the setting. Once these characters in this movie, again, as you said, I've not seen the previous two movies, so I'm being thrown into this universe, not really knowing much from the past. But all I know is, for the most part, is these things are rage-induced zombies essentially, and
Rabies.
they're on the rabies infected maybe, and there's an island and there's a bridge, as you saw in the trailer, and the way that they do that, once they're on the mainland, you really do feel like, as a viewer, I was like, man, this is kind of a creepy area. You know that there's zombies on here, and I did like the different types of zombies. There was in this movie, I think at least 3 different types that you see, and I kind of like that aspect of it, or at least 4 maybe if you want to argue, but yeah, it was just really cool. Once they're on the island, you felt afraid. The zombies are scary, and whenever they're running around, you would not want to be in that situation. So the setting was really, really good when they're on the island, and at certain times it was done extremely well. And the special effects were really, really good. I loved the Aaron Taylor Johnson character and the relationship that he had with his son for the first hour or so. And then there's an aspect that goes in there, but that first hour, or whatever it is, was done extremely well. The opening was pretty cool. Not all zombie movies do a good job capturing the frantic of feeling what it would be if a zombie apocalypse is starting, and then but the way it starts with kids in a house, I was like, man, when I thought the movie started, I don't want to spoil anything, but I thought they were already on the island. It's what's going on here? But so
it sets the tone.
But yeah, it sets the tone really, really early, and again, the zombies are scary. I like the interactions with the humans and the zombies, and being on the mainland. There's a use of bigger zombies that was done really, really well. I really like that aspect a lot. Some really cool shots. Some of my favorite shots are done with no music at all, just looking at a zombie in the distance, just standing there.
Yeah,
it was really, really cool. So I like that a lot. Special effects and just how the setting felt when you're on that island, or it's not when you're on the mainland.
Yeah, the main positive is I'm a big zombie fan. I've watched The Walking Dead a lot. Dawn of the Dead, World War Z, some of the best zombie movies I've seen. But I've definitely had I've watched a lot of zombie stuff. And these zombies are very creepy. I mean, the movements they make, there's different kinds, which like you said is great, because I always wanted in The Walking Dead for there to be some evolution. I like the fact that there's different kinds. It just makes it more interesting versus just zombies. And the visual effects are very good. The music is really good. Aaron Taylor Johnson and the main actors in this movie, Jodie Comer and Ralph Fiennes, are all very good in the movie. Even though the first 30 minutes of this movie are so great with the relationship between the dad and son. I definitely think the sound effects were great.
Yeah.
A lot of the atmosphere was just so creepy, and just you did not want to be in this area. They made it to where you did not want to be here, and like it was not something where you're like, oh, I could easily take down these zombies. Like it made it really threatening. The main actors in it were really good, and the direction they were going with the story was so good, and I was really interested in the different subplots they were introducing, new characters, mysteries throughout. I was just constantly engaged, and I saw it twice. So obviously, this movie's pretty good if I saw it twice.
Yeah.
I have so many positives, but the negatives are just stuff that they could have done differently that are so frustrating.
Yeah.
So why don't we go to our negatives?
Negatives for me had been like mainly like some plot holes, a couple plot holes, and just the storyline in a way. Again, I like the very beginning of the movie, like the first hour or so, but some storyline decisions and what certain characters get screen time and the interactions between certain characters I did not like. There's a direction this movie goes that just really, it didn't take me out of it per se, but it was not the direction that I wanted it to go. And to me, it kind of undercut the movie. This movie could have been extremely, really cool throughout, but instead they kind of make a choice that I didn't like the way that the decision was made. And then at the end, you're like, why was like, what did this amount to? Nothing really happened. Like there might have been some character connections that were cool, but like in this kind of a movie, I was expecting more of a bombastic final act. And the final act, I didn't even know it was a final act. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, was that the end of the movie? And then it was, and I kind of like, again, that's a compliment to the movie that it did not go slow, like it was flowing fast, and I never felt tired of it. But I didn't like a certain few decisions being made towards the end of the movie, and that's probably my biggest complaint. Is just some of the storyline issues towards the end, and also I didn't like that they cut out stuff from the trailer. The stuff from the trailers that are not in this movie. Like the main shot that I wanted to see in theaters was not in this. Actually, two of them. Two of the main shots I wanted to see in theaters weren't in this movie. So
Zombie standing up in the field.
yeah, zombie standing up in the field. The one zombie standing up with the glowing eyes and the red camera. Like you do get some of that, but you didn't get that. Maybe you did get that shot. I didn't see it. I mean, if it did, it was
brief.
Even if they showed it, it would have been in a montage instead of having an actual scene with it, which is a complaint by me too. Front. So my main issue with the movie is just a few storyline issues, plot points, a couple plot holes, and one character in particular being kind of annoying. I didn't like what they did to the relationship between the son and the father and the son at a point in this movie. I did not like that. They filmed two movies when they made this movie, but that does not make me disregard it for this movie.
Yeah, it's big issues, and I don't know how I can really say it without going into spoilers. Hopefully we do a spoilers discussion,
Yeah.
but there's a direction they go in this movie with the main characters. I mean, the main characters that are listed in this movie, and the direction they go, they pin characters against each other, and I just think it didn't make any sense for multiple reasons I can't go into. The negatives is definitely the way this movie started out. I really wish they could have kept these characters consistently with this storyline instead of going a different direction. Another big negative is there's a lot of naked zombies in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, that goes without saying.
I mean, obviously, make sure you're 18 or older if you see this movie. And I understand, like, zombies, the way this world is, like, it would make sense they would lose their clothes. Just like the Hulk wouldn't have any clothes if it was realistic. But I'm glad a Hulk has clothes. And I think there's certain points in this movie where I do wish the zombies had clothes. I think it just gets a little ridiculous at points.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely works at times, but then at times, like again, I don't know the lore, but like if it's just like a steroid, then maybe that's what explains why some are like huge. But I don't need to see that though.
Yeah, like I really did not need to see as many naked zombies as I did.
No.
I just didn't need to see that. So like, I guess that's a negative. I mean, it also kind of takes away from like certain scenes where I don't know. There's just too many naked zombies on screen.
It wasn't honestly. It wasn't as bad going in. I was expecting them to be like some like really bad scenes. So I was expecting probably worse than what we got. We did get too much, but like I was expecting worse. So
Yeah, I mean, I only mention that because I watch a lot of zombie movies and they're always clothed.
yeah.
But the other thing is I think, like you said, I was hoping for more of an end battle scene, and there's a lot. My actually biggest negative is the unanswered questions. There's multiple things in the trailer that I remember thinking back to that in the movie they'll show, like, I'll just mention it, one shot of a girl wearing a mask, and it's never answered. And like what that mask is, what that is, they zoom in on pictures and they're showing faces, and I'm thinking, oh, there's some secret organization that's working together.
They're cutting back to videos of like classic time
Yeah.
battles. The one where they're showing the archers shooting like a crowd, that's not even zombies at that point, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing. See, and this is only us guessing, the chanting through the trailer, like they're jumping up and down again, and like all the constant chanting. like Ray chanting.
Ray is chanting.
Unconscious chanting. You're chanting.
Yeah, the chanting though, like I'm guessing it's their training at that village. Like she drills these things in their head to make sure they kill the zombies, or like maybe when she's saying they're jumping down again, it's like you should kill them, but the alphas don't die. So you have to fire them again.
That song might be like might have a different meaning to that.
Yeah.
That's just your like theory just from the movie alone.
But yeah, like I just have to guess. So I could have really used more explanations, and also I needed more explanations about the different types of zombies. The only explanation we get about the alpha, the slow ones, the normal ones, I guess you call them, is the kid barely mentioning it at one point. We needed a bigger explanation of why are some of them freaking like ripping people's heads out?
Yeah.
Why are some of them rolling on the ground? I wanted more of that. Just it's more.
Yeah,
it's
nothing's
interesting
really,
concept.
not much is explained.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept, and I wanted more of it explained. Why don't we go into our final thoughts and score?
And final thoughts and score, like I said, I enjoyed the majority of this movie. I enjoyed a lot of the aspects of this movie, and the whole zombie aspect was done extremely well. Like I thought the zombies were really scary. I never felt like people were really safe. I did think a storyline decision helped create some plot armor between two characters. I never really felt like they were going to actually get it taken out. Anyways, I'd say my score for this movie, I'm sitting at probably a 7 out of 10 for 28 years later. Again, I enjoyed it, didn't love it, but didn't hate it either.
Yeah, my score, I'm thinking right around the same thing. I think I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 as well because I really enjoyed aspects of this movie. The zombies were done so well. And as a big Walking Dead fan, if you don't know, it's a zombie show. It's been around for a while. It's over now. But I always wanted to see evolutions of the zombies. I wanted to see them evolve in some way. And I always wanted to see that. And this movie gives those different levels of it, which I thought was great. The zombies are creepy as crap. The atmosphere is great. And the first 30 or so minutes of this movie was literally perfect with just what was happening. And then they went a different direction. And it was still fine, but I see so much potential out of what could have happened. It's so frustrating. And it was emotional. It was an emotional movie. I felt the emotion. Even though the end was a little weird in certain aspects, like I can't go into it. Like I was wanting so much more for this movie. So a 7 out of 10 is a score I'll give because I really enjoyed so much of it. But I was just left wanting so much more. And I really wish they could have went a different direction in the second movie, given a bigger battle. And this movie would be close up there with an 8 or 9 if you end with a great battle and other stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, that was our non-spoiler review of 28 years later. Let us know in the comments what you thought of this movie. I gave it a 7 out of 10. You gave it a
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
There's no discharge in the war.